just want to take a little bit of the mental health thing and spin it around this time of lockdown, quarantine, shelter in place, whatever you want to call it. I've seen a lot of shared memes about, like, if you don't come out of this with a new skill or a new whatever, that you should feel bad about yourself, and that it was always not because you had time, but because
you're just lazy.
Yeah, you lazy, you lack motivation. I don't subscribe to that that philosophy. I think that it is an opportunity to learn things, do things, whatever, if you are so motivated to do those things. And at the same time, if you don't, and the best you could do every day is make it through that day, because you're anxious, you feel alone, you've got, I really, really don't understand how people who are entirely alone, like live alone, and don't interact with people. I don't know how they survive that, to tell you the truth.
I feel so bad for my moms.
But if you come through the other end of this, and you're not tremendously more damaged than everybody around you about what happened, I think you did pretty well. I think you need to, back off on yourself a little bit and not, because the thing is that if you hold yourself to an unattainable standard, basically unattainable meaning like, what is your life normally like?
Right.
Then you just create a situation of personal dissatisfaction and guilt that turns into a downward spiral. Don't do that. Celebrate the things that you can do, that you can accomplish. And if you end up down a rabbit hole of learning something or trying something new that you haven't done before, that is awesome. That's a bonus. That's the bonus. Like, not everybody's going to shoot for the bonus.
Yeah, you said it exactly. Having these expectations of perfectionism is unattainable, and that's why we aim for them, and that's why society is a little skewed here, at least in America, of what is successful, what is good, what is beauty, what is cool. And so if you always see that, you're never going to reach that. You're never going to feel satisfied. You're the one that's going to be fucked up, like I said, and then you're going to end up going somewhere else because you're so full of anxiety and worry of not reaching these goals. And for you to portray that on everybody, if you have a public influence, I think is irresponsible as well. It's part of the problem. It's part of the bigger issue of what we have. Now, personally, I have that issue. I've been in therapy for it. I have a perfectionist mindset. And when people think perfection, they think, oh, you're spending 5 hours on a 1 hour essay. Well, that's not necessarily true. That's one form of perfectionism. Perfectionism more has to do with kind of your expectations of yourself and what you see yourself doing. And some of the work can be in your brain. Not all the work, because I always grew up thinking perfectionism means the kid that, I took an essay and I wrote it pretty good in an hour, and that kid spent 24 hours on it, right? They're freaking out about every single period. But that's only one form of it. Some of it's all internal. But I do walk the line with you. I agree with you 100%. It's clearly unhealthy. The issue is just because this thing's so complex, because we're talking about human behavior and human psyche, is that some people then go the other way and use it as an excuse. This is also not an excuse just to be a big, fat, lazy fuck. Because some people are just being a lazy fuck, right? Like you said, I think you be as normal as you can. You find a new normalcy, because our worlds are different right now. Our days are different right now. So you have to find that new normalcy. And yeah, if it's been a lifelong goal to learn Spanish, maybe you do have 2 hours to learn Spanish. Okay, go ahead. But I don't want to learn Spanish. And for you to project onto me that I'm being lazy if I don't learn Spanish right now, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't want to learn Spanish. Fuck you. I don't want to get more mobile and do yoga. Fuck you. I don't want to reorganize my kitchen. Yeah. Now, if you let your house just become a mess because you're just being lazy because you can't go outside, well, then go for a walk, come back home, clean your damn house, stop being a mess, right? It is a balancing, and the issue is it's so person to person, because it's the internal conversations that dictate what is healthy for you. Yeah. And that's the issue here. Yeah. That's the issue with the intuitive eating. That's the issue with flexible dieting. That's the issue with working out as opposed to being addicted to exercise. Is it's the actual internal conversations, which none of us see or know. And some of it will represent itself in physical nature, right? We can sometimes see when someone has an eating disorder. Yep. We can sometimes see when someone's addicted to steroids or bench pressing. But it's the internal conversation that's happening, which we cannot judge. We're not psychiatrists. And even a psychiatrist won't judge until a lengthy of meetings with this person, right? They need multiple meetings to really be able to judge and see what that internal conversation is to decide what's healthy. Because if your internal conversation is like, fuck it, Ben and Jerry's, I'm going to watch Avengers 8 times in a row, maybe you do need to go learn Spanish, right? But if you're someone who, like me, you need to learn how to kind of unplug and be like, all right, me and Jim had some cool projects on the way. Can't do it. Me just freaking the fuck out and punching a hole in my wall is not going to help me build this project. Okay, I Twitch stream. All right, I'm going to Twitch stream a couple more hours today. Okay, I got a little weird with my food. I was eating a lot of DoorDash. Let's pump the brakes, Mikey, and I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to cook a little bit more. I'm going to cook just a little bit more than normal. Okay, Mikey, you haven't seen the sun in 7 days. Let's just go for a little bike ride. Let's just go for a little bike ride, right? And that's what the self-awareness comes to play, which, man, I would love a way to be able to quantify how many people are unaware.
Yeah.
I don't think we could, but man, I used to think it's like 50%. I think like 80% of the world's just autopilot.
Yeah.
They're just fucking autopilot.